Before we dive in, it is critical to understand that this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor, mortgage broker, or real estate agent. The information provided in this video does not constitute financial, legal, or real estate advice. The numbers and examples used are for illustrative purposes and may not reflect your personal situation or current market conditions. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any major financial decisions, especially one as significant as purchasing a home. Your financial future is your responsibility. The number you see on Zillow is a giant, dangerous lie. I'm not talking about the Zestimate, their home value estimate. I'm talking about something far more seductive, something that has crushed the dreams of more aspiring homeowners than almost anything else. It's that little number tucked under the price, the one labeled ST payment. It looks so simple, so affordable, so achievable. And that is the trap. Imagine this for a second. You've been scrolling for weeks, maybe months. You've seen tiny condos and fixer-uppers you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. And then you see it. The one. It has the front porch you've always wanted, the big backyard for a future dog, the kitchen with the island. You hold your breath and look at the price. It's a stretch, but maybe it's possible. And then you see the magic number. Estimated payment, $2,700 a month. A wave of relief washes over you. Your rent is $2,400. For just $300 more, you could own this. You could build equity. You could paint the walls whatever color you want. Your mind starts racing. You're already picturing where the Christmas tree will go. You call a realtor, you get pre-approved, you put in an offer, and it gets accepted. It's the happiest day of your life. Until you get the first document from your lender. The real document. And the monthly payment isn't $2,700. It's $3,650. $950 more. Every single month. Your heart plummets into your stomach. That's an extra $11,400 a year. That's your vacations. That's your savings. That's your emergency fund. The dream house has instantly become a financial nightmare. And you're trapped. This scenario isn't a scare tactic. It happens every single day to thousands of well-meaning, intelligent people across America. They fall for the illusion. They trust the simple number. They don't know that hidden beneath that estimate is a labyrinth of hidden costs, taxes, and fees that Zillow doesn't want to scare you with on the front page. But that's not going to happen to you. Because over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom. We are going to rip apart the Zillow Mortgage Calculator and expose every single secret it holds. You will not just learn how to use this tool. You will learn how to master it. You will learn to wield it as a weapon of financial clarity. By the time this video is over, you will know the 3 biggest hidden costs that blindside almost every first-time homebuyer. You will understand the secret levers inside this calculator that can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you will be able to look at any house on any street in any city and within 60 seconds, calculate a monthly payment that is terrifyingly accurate. You will have more confidence and more knowledge than 95% of the other buyers out there. So let's pull back the curtain and start with the very first number you see. Home price. It seems obvious, right? This is the listing price of the house. Wrong. The list price is just a suggestion. It's the opening bid in a very expensive negotiation. In today's market, a house listed for $500,000 might sell for $550,000 after a bidding war. Or, if it's been sitting on the market for a while, it might sell for $480,000. The first mistake people make is using the list price in the calculator. Don't do that. Use the price you think the house will actually sell for. Talk to your real estate agent. What are comparable homes in the neighborhood selling for? This is your first step toward reality. For our example today, let's use a nice round number. Let's say we're looking at a house with a list price of $400,000. We've done our research and we think we can get it for that price. So we plug in $400,000 into the home price box. Simple enough. But now comes the first and arguably most important decision you will make, the down payment. Zillow defaults this to 20%. For our $400,000 house, that's an $80,000 down payment. And for many people, that number is so impossibly high, they just close the browser and give up. But this is where the calculator starts to reveal its power. You can enter this as a percentage or a dollar amount. Let's explore this. What happens if we only have 10% or $40,000? We change the number and our monthly payment jumps up. Okay, that makes sense. We're borrowing more money, so we have to pay more each month. What about 5% or $20,000? The payment jumps up again. 3%. It jumps even higher. But something else is happening behind the scenes. Something Zillow doesn't put in bright, flashing red letters. When you drop that down payment below 20%, you trigger a secret hidden cost. A parasitic fee that attaches itself to your mortgage and can cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars for absolutely no benefit to you. It's called PMI, or private mortgage insurance. This is, without a doubt, the single most painful and misunderstood cost for new homebuyers. Let me explain what it is. When you put down less than 20%, the bank sees you as a riskier borrower. If you stop making payments, they stand to lose more money when they foreclose on the house. So, to protect themselves, not you themselves, they force you to buy an insurance policy. That's PMI. You are literally paying an insurance premium every single month that protects the bank in case you default. You get zero benefit from it. It doesn't pay off your house if you get sick. It doesn't help you if you lose your job. It is purely and simply a fee you pay for the privilege of not having an $80,000 down payment sitting in your bank account. And it is brutally expensive. On a $400,000 home with a 10% down payment, your PMI could be anywhere from $100 to $200 a month. That's on top of your mortgage. With a 5% down payment, it could be even higher, maybe $200 to $300 a month. That's up to $3,600 a year, poof, gone. Flushed away on an insurance policy that doesn't even protect you. This is the first major trap. The default Zillow view often hides or minimizes this cost. You have to know to look for it. You have to understand that your down payment isn't just about how much cash you have on hand. It's a strategic decision that activates or deactivates this incredibly expensive monthly fee. So the magic number is 20%. If you can hit that, you avoid PMI altogether. Your monthly payment is purely going toward your house, your principal, and your interest. But for most people, especially first-time buyers, saving $80,000 is a monumental task. So what do? You get strategic. You use this calculator to see the true cost. Go ahead and plug in the numbers. Put in your $400,000 home price. Now toggle the down payment. Look at the difference in the monthly payment between 20% down and 19% down. That sudden jump? A huge chunk of that is PMI rearing its ugly head. See how much it costs you to go from 10% down to 9% down. Play with the numbers. If you only have $40,000 for a down payment, 10%, maybe you should be looking at houses in the $350,000 range instead. A lower home price means a smaller loan, which means the PMI will be lower. This is how you start to use the tool not just as a calculator, but as a strategic guide for your entire home search. It helps you define your budget based on the real monthly cost, not the fantasy number on the front page. You are no longer just a window shopper. You are a financial analyst planning your future. We've now established the foundation, the realistic purchase price, and the true cost of your down payment, including the hidden trap of PMI. But we've only just begun to scratch the surface, because the next number in this calculator is the one that has the single biggest impact on your monthly payment and the total amount you'll pay for your home over 30 years. It's a number that changes daily, is shrouded in mystery, and can feel completely out of your control. I'm talking, of course, about the interest rate. And understanding how even a tiny change to this one number can save or cost you a fortune is the next critical step to becoming a master of your financial destiny. So let's talk about that gatekeeper. The interest rate isn't just a number on a screen. It's the price you pay for the privilege of borrowing a massive amount of money. Think of it like this. When you rent an apartment, you pay the landlord a monthly fee to live in their property. When you take out a mortgage, you are essentially renting the bank's money to buy a house, and the interest is your monthly rent payment on that money. The bank is your financial landlord. And just like with real landlords, some are way more expensive than others, even for the exact same product. The crazy part is how a seemingly tiny difference in that rent can create a life-altering gap in your wealth over time. To really understand this, let's leave the world of abstract numbers and step into a real-world scenario. Let's imagine two people, we'll call them Alex and Ben. Alex and Ben are in identical situations. They both have stable jobs, they've saved up diligently, and they've found the exact same dream house listed for $400,000. It's a perfect starter home in a nice neighborhood. They both plan to put down the same 20%, which is $80,000, meaning they both need to borrow the exact same amount from the bank, $320,000. On paper, they are financial twins. But there's one single invisible difference. Alex has spent the last 2 years meticulously building his credit. He's paid every bill on time, kept his credit card balances low, and disputed any errors on his report. As a result, he qualifies for a very good interest rate. Let's say today that rate is 6.5%. Ben, on the other hand, hasn't paid as much attention to his credit. He's a good person, he pays his bills, but maybe he was late on a credit card payment a year ago, and he's carrying a bit more debt on his cards. His credit score is just average. So, when he goes to the bank, they offer him a rate that's just one single percentage point higher. 7.5%. 1%. It sounds like almost nothing, right? In most parts of life, a 1% difference is trivial. It's the difference between a 92 and a 93 on a test. It's a rounding error. But in the world of mortgages, that 1% is a financial canyon. Let's fire up the Zillow calculator and see for ourselves. We'll start with Alex. We go to the calculator. We plug in the home price, $400,000. We enter his down payment, $80,000 or 20%. The loan program is a standard 30-year fixed mortgage. Now for the most important box, interest rate. We type in 6.5. The calculator instantly crunches the numbers. Alex's monthly payment for principal and interest comes out to $2,022. Okay, a significant number, but manageable for him. But here's the number that really matters, the one you have to look for. If you scroll down on the Zillow calculator, you'll see a button that says, Amortization Schedule. This is the secret key. When you click it, it reveals the total cost of the loan. Over 30 years, Alex will pay a staggering $230,000 in interest alone. That's the rent he's paying the bank. He borrowed $320,000, and he's paying back over $550,000 in total. A tough pill to swallow, but that's the price of homeownership. Now let's run the numbers for Ben. Remember, everything is identical. Same house price, same down payment, same loan term. The only thing we are going to change is that one little number in the interest rate box. We delete the 6.5 and type in 7.5. The calculator updates. Ben's new monthly payment for principal and interest is $2,237. That's $215 more than Alex every single month. You might think, okay, $200. I can handle that. I'll cancel a few subscriptions, eat out less. And you could. For a month. For a year. But this isn't a one-year commitment. It's a 30-year marathon. $215 a month every month. For 360 months. That adds up to over $77,000 in extra payments. But wait, it gets so much worse. Let's go back to that secret key, the amortization schedule for Ben's loan. We click it. We look at the total interest paid. For his loan at 7.5%, the total interest Ben will pay over 30 years is not $230,000. It's $305,000. Let that sink in. A 1% difference in the initial interest rate will cost Ben $75,000 more than Alex. For the exact same house. $75,000. That's a brand new luxury car. It's a college fund for a child. It's a life-changing retirement nest egg. It's the difference between financial struggle and financial freedom, all because of a single percentage point that was decided in a few minutes by a loan officer. Ben is working harder, paying more every month, and ending up with the exact same asset as Alex, all while lighting $75,000 on fire and handing it to the bank. This is why the interest rate is the undisputed king of your mortgage. It dictates not just your monthly budget, but your long-term wealth-building potential. Getting a lower rate is like getting a massive, permanent discount on the biggest purchase of your life. And the best part? It's more in your control than you think. Your credit score is the primary driver. Lenders see a high credit score as proof that you are a reliable, low-risk borrower. They are more confident you'll pay them back. So they compete for your business by offering you their best rent price, a lower rate. A lower score signals higher risk, so they charge you more to compensate for that risk. But it's not just about having a great score. It's also about shopping around. Never ever take the first offer a bank gives you. Different lenders have different appetites for risk and different overhead costs. Getting quotes from at least 3 to 5 different lenders, banks, credit unions, online mortgage brokers, is the financial equivalent of a pro athlete's training regimen. It's the hard work you do up front that guarantees a win on game day. That one day of making phone calls and filling out applications could be the highest paying work you do in your entire life, potentially saving you that $75,000 we just saw. The interest rate is the battleground where your financial future is won or lost. By understanding its power, by working to improve your credit, and by forcing lenders to compete for your business, you transform from being a price taker like Ben to a price maker like Alex. You take control. But the interest rate is only one half of the equation. It's the price the bank sets. What about the part you bring to the table? I'm talking about the down payment. We've assumed 20% so far because that's the traditional wisdom. But is it always the right move? What happens if you put down less? Or more? How does that initial pile of cash you slap on the table dramatically alter not just your monthly payment, but the entire structure of your loan and the total interest you pay over the next 30 years? That lump sum is your first, most powerful move in this chess game, and knowing exactly how to play it is the next secret we need to unlock. So let's click into that next box, the one that probably causes more anxiety than any other. The interest rate. This isn't just a number. This is the price you pay for the bank's money. It's the engine of their profit, and the single most powerful force working against your wealth over the next 3 decades. A tiny, almost insignificant-looking change here can create a financial tidal wave. Think of it this way: the home price is the mountain you have to climb. The interest rate is the steepness of the slope. A lower rate flattens the path, making the climb manageable. A higher rate turns it into a sheer cliff face. Now, where does this number even come from? It's not arbitrary. It's a direct reflection of how much of a risk the lender thinks you are. And their primary tool for measuring that risk? Your credit score. A high credit score, think 760 or above, screams to them, this person is reliable. They pay their bills on time. They are a safe bet. And for taking that safe bet, the bank rewards you with their best, lowest interest rates. It's their discount price for A-plus customers. But a lower credit score, say in the low 600s, sends up a red flag. It whispers, this person has had some trouble in the past. There's a higher chance they might miss a payment. To compensate for that extra risk, the bank charges you more for their money. They give you a higher interest rate. It's a risk premium. Let's see this in action, because this is where the calculator becomes your crystal ball. The default rate might be something like 6.5%. On our $400,000 home with $80,000 down, that gives us that monthly payment we saw earlier. But what if you spent the last year working on your credit? You paid down your credit cards, you never missed a payment, and you managed to boost your score enough to qualify for a rate of just 6%. A half a percentage point. It sounds like almost nothing, right? Watch what happens. We change that 6.5 to a 6.0 and hit enter. The monthly payment drops by over $100. $100 a month every single month for 30 years. That's $1,200 a year. Over the life of the loan, that's $36,000. $36,000 you get to keep, all because of a half-point difference in your interest rate. It's the price of a brand new car, just handed back to you. Now let's flip it. Let's say your credit is a little bruised. You get a rate of 7%. We type that in. Your payment just jumped by another $100 a month compared to the original. That's a $200 swing between the 6% and 7% rates. That's $2,400 a year. Over 30 years, that's a staggering $72,000 in extra interest. $72,000 that evaporates from your bank account and goes straight to the lender, all because of a single percentage point. This is why fighting for every fraction of a percentage point on your interest rate isn't just penny pinching. It's one of the most important financial battles you will ever fight. The Zillow calculator isn't just showing you a payment, it's showing you the battlefield and the prize for winning. Directly below the interest rate, you'll see a drop-down menu for the loan program. This is the rulebook for your mortgage. It defines the structure of your loan, and it works hand-in-hand with your interest rate. The 3 most common options you'll see are the 30-year fixed, the 15-year fixed, and a 5-to-1 arm. Let's break them down. The 30-year fixed is the American classic. It's the marathon. You lock in your interest rate on day 1, and it never ever changes for 360 straight months. If rates skyrocket to 15% in the future, you're still paying your comfortable 6%. If the economy goes haywire, your payment remains the same. It is the absolute pinnacle of predictability and safety. This is why over 90% of American homebuyers choose it. The downside? You pay for that safety. Because the bank is guaranteeing your rate for 3 decades, they typically charge a slightly higher interest rate compared to other loan types. And because you're stretching the payments out over such a long time, the interest has more time to accumulate. You'll pay far more in total interest over the life of a 30-year loan than any other option. Now let's click on the 15-year fixed. This is the sprint. The principle is the same, your rate is locked in, but you're paying the loan off in half the time. Look what happens to the numbers. The monthly payment shoots way up. It's a much heavier lift each month, no question about it. This option isn't for everyone. It requires a higher income and a stricter budget. But here's the magic. First, notice the interest rate. Lenders offer a lower rate for 15-year loans because their money is at risk for a much shorter period. So you not only pay for less time, you pay at a cheaper rate. Now, look at the amortization schedule. Click on that full report button. On the 30-year loan, the total interest paid was a mind-numbing $388,000, almost as much as the house itself. But on the 15-year loan, the total interest is only $165,000. Let me say that again. You save over $223,000 in interest. You build equity at lightning speed, and you own your home free and clear 15 years sooner. 15 more years of your life with no mortgage payment, investing that money instead. The 15-year fixed is a powerful wealth-building tool, if you can handle the monthly payment. Finally, there's the ARM or adjustable rate mortgage. You might see it listed as a 5/1 ARM or a 7/1 ARM. This is the strategic gamble. An ARM offers you a very low, very attractive teaser interest rate for an initial period, in this case for 5 years. It's almost always the lowest rate you can get. This results in the lowest possible monthly payment, which can be incredibly tempting. But here's the catch. After those first 5 years are up, the adjustable part kicks in. Your interest rate will then change once every year. That's the 1 in 5 to 1, based on the prevailing market rates. If rates have gone down, your payment could go down. But if rates have gone up, your payment could jump significantly, sometimes by hundreds of dollars a month, overnight. So who is this for? It can be a smart move for someone who knows, with a high degree of certainty, that they will sell the house or refinance before the 5-year introductory period is over. They get the benefit of the super low payment for a few years and get out before the rate adjustment ever happens. But if you plan on staying in the home long term, an ARM is a ticking clock. You are betting that you'll be able to afford a potentially much higher payment in the future, or that you'll be able to refinance into a fixed-rate loan down the road. It's a calculated risk, and you have to be honest with yourself about your future plans and your tolerance for uncertainty. These 3 elements, your down payment, your interest rate, and your loan program, are the holy trinity of your mortgage. They are completely interconnected. A bigger down payment can help you secure a lower interest rate. Choosing a 15-year loan program will get you a lower interest rate than a 30-year. Playing with these 3 levers in the Zillow calculator is how you begin to craft a mortgage strategy that fits your life, not just a payment that fits your bank account. But there's a catch. Even if you get these 3 things perfect, your monthly payment isn't complete. There are other costs, hidden costs, that are added on top. These are the expenses that blindside first-time homebuyers, the ones the bank doesn't control but that you are forced to pay. They are the ghosts in the machine, and they can haunt your budget for as long as you own your home. Uncovering these hidden costs is the next crucial step. Let's start with the biggest, most predictable ghost: property taxes. Think of property tax as the government's subscription fee for living in your house. You don't get a choice, you can't unsubscribe, and the price can change every single year without your permission. It's a silent partner in your homeownership journey, and it always gets its cut. Now, when you look at the Zillow calculator, you'll see a field for property taxes. And Zillow, in its attempt to be helpful, will pre-fill this with an estimate. For millions of first-time homebuyers, this estimate is a siren song, luring their budget onto the rocks. They see the number, they nod, they plug it into their spreadsheet, and they move on. This is a catastrophic mistake. Zillow's estimate is often based on the current owner's tax bill. But here's the trap. The moment you buy that house, the county assessor's office wakes up. They see the new higher sale price, what you just paid, and they say, aha, this property is worth more now. They reassess the value, and your tax bill gets recalculated based on that new higher number. The previous owner might have been paying $200 a month. Your bill could be $400. That's an extra $2,400 a year that Zillow's default setting didn't prepare you for. So how do you fight this ghost? You have to become a detective. Don't trust the Zillow estimate. Don't even trust the listing agent's number. You need to go directly to the source. Open a new tab and search for the county name property appraiser or county name tax assessor. Every county has one. Their website is public record. You can type in the address of the house you love and see its entire tax history. But don't stop there. Look for something called the millage rate. Sounds complicated, but it's just the tax rate for that area. It's a number like 20 or 30. You take the price you plan to pay for the house, say $400,000, multiply it by the millage rate, and then divide by 1,000. That gives you a much more realistic and frankly a much scarier estimate of your annual tax bill. You take that annual number, divide it by 12, and that is the real number you must manually type into the Zillow calculator, overriding their fantasy figure. Doing this 5-minute search is the difference between a budget that works and a budget that breaks in the first year. Okay, so you've wrangled the tax phantom. You're feeling empowered. But wait, what's that flickering in the corner of your eye? That's our second ghost. Homeowners insurance. Everyone knows you need it. Your lender will demand it. But almost everyone underestimates it. On the Zillow calculator, just below taxes, is a little box for home insurance. And again, Zillow puts in a placeholder. A nice, comfortable, totally meaningless number. It's like estimating the cost of groceries for a family of 4 without knowing if they eat ramen noodles or filet mignon. The reality of insurance is brutally specific. That beautiful 100-year-old Victorian home? It has old wiring and a slate roof that costs a fortune to replace. Your insurance premium will be astronomical. That charming house next to a gentle creek? The insurance company calls that a special flood hazard area. And your lender will require a separate, devastatingly expensive flood insurance policy on top of your regular one. I saw this happen to a couple in Florida. They found their dream home. The Zillow calculator said their insurance would be about $150 a month. They were thrilled. They went under contract, paid for an inspection, and then started calling for insurance quotes. The first quote came back at $600 a month. They thought it was a typo. The second was $650. The house, it turned out, had a roof that was 16 years old. In that part of Florida, after a recent hurricane, insurance companies decided that any roof over 15 years old was basically uninsurable, or so expensive to insure it might as well be. Their dream home was suddenly, completely, and heartbreakingly unaffordable. They lost their inspection money and had to start their search all over again, defeated. The lesson here is stark. The Zillow insurance estimate is a guess. A wild, uneducated, and dangerous guess. Before you get emotionally attached to a house, before you even think about making an offer, you need to become an insurance investigator. Get the address and call an independent insurance agent, not a website, a person. Tell them you're considering buying this property and you need a real hard quote. They will ask the questions Zillow can't. How old is the roof? The plumbing? The electrical? Is it in a flood zone? A fire zone? A sinkhole zone? Getting these real quotes is the only way to find the true number. Once you have it, you go back to the Zillow calculator, delete their placeholder, and type in the real cold hard fact. You've now pinned down 2 of the most volatile costs. Your monthly payment is looking a lot higher than you first thought, but at least it's real. It's accurate. You're feeling the pain, but it's the healthy pain of truth. But there's one more ghost, and this one is the most insidious of all. It doesn't hide in public records or behind insurance quotes. It hides in plain sight, in a thicket of rules and regulations called the covenants, conditions, and restrictions. We're talking about the Homeowners Association, or HOA. On the Zillow calculator, the HOA dues line item seems simple enough. If the house is in an HOA, the listing will tell you the monthly fee. $200 a month. You plug it in. Easy. The problem is that monthly fee is just the cover charge. The HOA is a tiny private government run by your neighbors, and it has the power to do something terrifying. Levy a special assessment. A special assessment is a one-time mandatory charge to every homeowner to pay for a major expense that isn't covered by the regular budget. Imagine this: you buy a beautiful condo. The HOA is $300 a month, which covers the pool and landscaping. It's tight, but you make it work. 6 months after you move in, you get a letter. The board has determined that all the building's windows need to be replaced to meet new hurricane codes. The reserve fund is empty. Your share of the cost is $15,000 due in 90 days. This is not a request. It's a bill. And if you don't pay it, they can put a lien on your home and even foreclose. That $300 a month fee you planned for has just exploded into a financial crisis. So when you see that HOA fee on a listing, your work has just begun. The number you put in the Zillow calculator is only the beginning of the story. You must demand the HOA documents from the seller. You need to read the budget. See how much money they have in reserves. Is it healthy? Or are they running on fumes? You need to read the last year's worth of meeting minutes. Are they constantly talking about a failing roof or a cracked foundation? These are the warning signs of a special assessment lurking around the corner. The monthly HOA fee is a known cost. The special assessment is the financial landmine you never see coming. So look at your Zillow calculator now. That simple P&I, the principal and interest we started with, is now joined by 3 powerful unavoidable costs: property taxes, homeowners insurance, and HOA dues. This foursome, known in the industry as PITI, is the real starting point for your monthly housing cost. Not the bank's number, the real number. But even after all this detective work, is not the full picture. There's another layer of costs, a 5th column of expenses that live entirely outside the lender's world and, therefore, outside the Zillow calculator itself. These are the costs of simply existing in your home, and they can be just as devastating as a tax hike or a special assessment. Let's call this the iceberg of homeownership. What the Zillow calculator shows you, that neat, tidy PITI number, is the 10% of the iceberg you see above the water. It's visible, it's predictable, and it's what everyone focuses on. But the other 90%, the massive, jagged, ship-sinking part of the iceberg hiding just below the surface? That's what we're about to talk about. These are the non-negotiable costs of homeownership that have absolutely nothing to do with your mortgage lender. And ignoring them is the single biggest financial mistake a new homebuyer can make. So let's drain the ocean and look at this thing head-on. The first major section of this hidden iceberg is utilities. This sounds obvious, right? Of course you have to pay for electricity, but the sheer scale and variability can be shocking. If you're moving from a 700 square foot apartment where the landlord paid for water and trash into a 2,500 square foot single-family home, your utility budget isn't just going to double or triple. It could easily multiply by 5 or 6. We're not just talking about the electric bill. We're talking about a whole suite of services. There's electricity to power your lights, your appliances, and most importantly, your air conditioning. A brutal summer heat wave in a poorly insulated older home can send your electric bill soaring to $300, $400, even $500 for a single month. Then there's heating. Depending on your location and the home setup, this could be natural gas, heating oil, or propane. That first winter heating bill is a rite of passage for new homeowners, and often a terrifying one. But it doesn't stop there. You have the water bill, the sewer bill, which is often a separate charge calculated based on your water usage. You have the trash and recycling collection bill. In some areas, these are bundled into your property taxes, but in many, they're a separate monthly or quarterly expense you have to pay directly to a utility company. And what about internet and cable? While technically a choice for most of us in the modern world, high-speed internet is as essential as running water. That's another $100 to $150 a month easy. So how do you budget for this? A vague guess is a recipe for disaster. Here's the pro move. When you are serious about a house, you ask the seller's agent for the last 12 months of utility bills. All of them. Gas, electric, water. This is a reasonable request. It gives you a real-world historical baseline for that specific house, with its specific insulation, windows, and systems. If you can't get that, a conservative rule of thumb is to budget around $2 to $4 per square foot per year. So for a 2,000 square foot house, you'd budget between $4,000 and $8,000 a year, which breaks down to about $330 to $670 a month, just for basic utilities. That's a huge range, and it's a massive expense that is completely invisible on the Zillow calculator. Okay, let's dive deeper. The next layer of the iceberg is routine maintenance. This is the death by 1,000 cuts category. These are all the little things you have to do, month in and month out, year in and year out, to keep your house from literally falling apart. When you were a renter, you just called the landlord. Now, you are the landlord. Let's just list a few. Lawn care. Are you going to spend every Saturday morning mowing, weeding, and fertilizing? Or are you going to pay a service $50 or $60 a pop to do it for you? Either you pay with your time or you pay with your money. Gutter cleaning. You have to do it twice a year, spring and fall. If you don't, water backs up, rots the wood around your roofline, and can even flood your basement. You can climb a rickety ladder and do it yourself, or you can pay a pro a few $100s. Pest control. A quarterly spray to keep the ants and spiders at bay. HVAC servicing. You need a technician to inspect and tune up your furnace and air conditioner every single year to keep them running efficiently and extend their life. That's a service call, $200. Chimney sweeping if you have a fireplace. Pressure washing the siding and driveway. Changing the air filters in your furnace every 3 months. None of these things are emergencies. They are predictable, recurring, and absolutely necessary. and every single one of them costs money. This is where we introduce one of the most important rules in homeownership, the 1% rule. The rule states that you should budget, at a minimum, 1% of your home's purchase price every single year for routine maintenance. Let that sink in. If you buy a $400,000 house, you need to budget $4,000 a year. That's $333 a month that you need to be setting aside on top of your mortgage payment, on top of your taxes, on top of your insurance, and on top of your utilities. This isn't for emergencies. This isn't for upgrades. This is just for the basic, boring upkeep that keeps your investment from deteriorating. The Zillow calculator tells you your PITI is $2,500. The 1% rule tells you that to truly afford the house, you need to be thinking in terms of $2,833. It's a shadow mortgage payment you pay to the house itself. And that brings us to the deepest, coldest, most dangerous part of the iceberg, the part that sinks financial ships. We're talking about major repairs and replacements. These aren't maintenance. These are the big-ticket items that have a finite lifespan and will, inevitably, fail and require complete replacement. These are the expenses that can vaporize your savings account in an afternoon. Let's tell a quick story. A young couple buys their first home. It's 15 years old, in great shape. The inspection was clean. They move in at the beginning of July. 2 weeks later, the hottest week of the year, the air conditioner dies. Not it needs a little freon, but the compressor is shot, the whole unit is fried. The technician comes out, wipes sweat from his brow, and gives them the quote, $12,000 to replace the entire HVAC system. $12,000. They just drained their savings for the down payment and closing costs. They don't have it. So it goes on a credit card, and now they have a new high-interest $250 monthly payment for the next 5 years that was never part of their budget. Their dream home just became a source of immense financial stress. This wasn't bad luck. It was math. A central air conditioner has a typical lifespan of 15 to 20 years. Theirs was 15 years old. It wasn't a matter of if it would fail, but when. The house is a collection of systems, and every system is on a countdown timer. Your job as a homeowner is to know what those timers are and to be saving for them from day one. Let's look at the big 5 of capital expenditures. First, the roof. A standard asphalt shingle roof lasts about 20 to 25 years. Replacement cost? Depending on the size and complexity, you're looking at $10,000 to $25,000 or more. Second, the HVAC system, like in our story, 15 to 20 years. Cost: $8,000 to $15,000. Third, the water heater. Lifespan is 8 to 12 years. You'll be lucky to get more. Cost to replace: $1,500 to $3,000. Fourth, major appliances. Your refrigerator, dishwasher, oven, washer, dryer. They all have about a 10 to 15 year lifespan. You can easily spend $5,000 replacing a set of kitchen appliances. Fifth, exterior paint or siding. A good paint job lasts 10 years, maybe 15. The cost to have the entire exterior of a house prepped and painted is staggering. Anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. These numbers are terrifying. But here's the secret. They are not surprise expenses. They are predictable. A $20,000 roof that lasts 20 years isn't a sudden emergency. It is a slow-motion $1,000 a year expense. It's an $83 a month expense that started the day the roof was installed. You have to think like this. You have to be setting aside money every single month into a separate high-yield savings account, a home repair fund, to cover these future costs. The 1% rule is a good start for general maintenance, but for these big capital expenditures, some experts recommend saving as much as 2% or even 3% of the home's value per year, especially for an older home. So you have your utilities, you have your routine maintenance, and you have your major replacement fund. These 3 categories form the massive, invisible part of the iceberg. They represent a constant, significant financial obligation that exists entirely outside of the Zillow Mortgage Calculator. The calculator gives you a number that tells you if you can get the loan. But this deeper analysis gives you a number that tells you if you can actually afford the life that comes with the house. So how do we take all this chaos, the 1% rule, the lifespan of a water heater, the cost of lawn care, and turn it into a single reliable number you can actually use? How do you build your real monthly housing budget, the one that accounts for the entire iceberg, not just the tip? That's exactly what we're going to build step by step in the next part. We're going to create the ultimate homeownership budget spreadsheet that blows the Zillow calculator out of the water. Alright, grab your weapon of choice. It could be a fresh Google Sheet, a new Excel workbook, or even a good old-fashioned legal pad and a pen. What we're about to build isn't just a budget, it's a truth detector. It's a financial X-ray that will show you the real skeleton of homeownership, not the pretty picture Zillow paints for you. First, let's create our main categories. Think of this like building a fortress. We need to account for every possible point of attack on our finances. We're going to have 4 main sections. Section 1, the monthly mortgage payment. Section 2, the hidden housing costs. Section 3, the long-term killers. And Section 4, the lifestyle inflators. Let's start with Section 1, the easy part, the stuff Zillow actually shows you. This is the PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. First line item, principal and interest. This is the core of your loan payment. It's the money you're paying back to the bank for the loan itself plus their profit. When you use the Zillow calculator, this is the big number it spits out. For our example, let's stick with that $400,000 house with a 20% down payment, meaning a loan of $320,000. At a 6.5% interest rate over 30 years, your principal and interest payment is about $2,022 a month. So write that down. P&I, $2,022. Easy. Next, property taxes. Zillow gives you an estimate, but this number is a wild animal. It changes. It's based on the assessed value of your home, and your local government can and will change that rate. A good rule of thumb is to budget around 1.25% of the home's purchase price annually. For our $400,000 home, that's $5,000 a year. Divide that by 12 and you get about $416 a month. Let's add that to our spreadsheet. Property taxes, $416. Then comes homeowners insurance. This is non-negotiable. Your lender requires it. It protects you against fire, theft, and other disasters. The cost varies wildly based on where you live. A house in Kansas is going to have different insurance needs than a house in coastal Florida. A safe national average to start with is around $1,900 a year. Divide that by 12 and you get roughly $158 a month. Let's put that in. Homeowners insurance, $158. Okay, that's PITI. If we add those up, $2022, $416, and $158, we get $2,596. This is the number Zillow proudly displays. This is the tip of the iceberg, and this is where most people stop. But we are not most people. Let's move to Section 2, the hidden housing costs. These are the monthly expenses that are just as mandatory as your mortgage, but are often glossed over. First up, and this is a big one, private mortgage insurance or PMI. If you put down less than 20% on your home, your lender sees you as a higher risk. To protect themselves, not you, they force you to buy this insurance policy. It's like you're paying an extra fee every month just for the privilege of not having a huge down payment. The cost is typically between 0.5 and 1% of your loan amount per year. On our $320,000 loan, that could be an extra $133 to $266 a month. Let's be conservative and add $150 to our spreadsheet. PMI, $150. Suddenly our monthly total just jumped to $2,746. See how fast this happens? Next in this section, HOA or condo fees. Homeowners association fees. This is the subscription fee for your neighborhood. It might cover a community pool, landscaping for common areas, or trash removal. It can range from $50 a month to over $1,000 in some high-end communities or city condos. And here's the scary part. They can raise these fees. They can also hit you with something called a special assessment. Let's say the community needs a new $500,000 roof on the clubhouse. Guess who pays for that? You do, through a massive one-time bill. You have to account for this. Let's add a national average of $250 a month to our budget. HOA fees, $250. Our running total is now an even $3,000, almost $500 more than the simple P&I Zillow started with. Now for Section 3, and this is where financial discipline is truly forged. I call this section the long-term killers. These aren't fixed monthly bills, but they will absolutely destroy your budget if you don't prepare for them. They are the slow leaks that sink the ship. The single most important line item here is maintenance and repairs. I want you to burn this into your brain. Your house is a machine that is constantly slowly breaking. The roof is aging. The water heater is getting tired. The paint is peeling. The faucet is dripping. Financial experts recommend you save 1 to 3% of your home's purchase price every single year for maintenance. 1% is the absolute bare-bones minimum. For our $400,000 house, that's $4,000 a year. That is $333 a month that you need to be putting into a separate high-yield savings account, labeled, "Do Not Touch House Repairs." This isn't a suggestion, this is a command, because one day you're going to get a call that your furnace died in the middle of winter, and it's an $8,000 replacement. You either have the cash or you go into high-interest debt. The choice is yours. So let's add it. Maintenance fund, $333. Our total is now $3,333. Next, under the long-term killers, utilities. If you're coming from a small apartment, prepare for sticker shock. Your electricity bill will likely double or triple. Your water bill will go up. You now have to pay for gas, sewer, and trash removal separately. These aren't small numbers. It's not crazy to budget $300 to $400 a month for a medium-sized home, and that's being conservative. Let's split the difference and add $350 for all utilities. Utilities, $350. We are now at $3,683 a month. Are you starting to see the real picture? We have nearly doubled Zillow's initial P&I estimate. Now for our last section, the one that absolutely no calculator will ever tell you about. Section 4. The lifestyle inflators. These are the costs that sneak up on you because you're a new, proud homeowner. First, yard care and landscaping. Grass grows. Weeds appear. Hedges need trimming. You either spend your Saturdays doing it or you pay someone. Buying a lawnmower, a weed whacker, fertilizer, mulch, it adds up. Or you hire a service which can easily be $100 to $200 a month. Let's budget a modest $100 a month for this. Yard care, $100. Next, pest control. Welcome to the food chain. Ants, spiders, termites, mosquitoes. You'll either need regular preventative service or a big check when you discover a problem. Let's budget a conservative $50 a month. Pest control, $50. And finally, the most insidious one. Furnishings, upgrades, and the new house effect. You move into this beautiful new space, and suddenly your old college couch looks sad. That dining room table from your first apartment looks tiny. The walls are empty. You need curtains. You need area rugs. You need a grill for the new patio. You want to paint the guest room. This is a powerful psychological force that can drain thousands of dollars in your first year. You must create a budget for this or it will consume you. For our spreadsheet, let's create a new stuff sinking fund and plan to put away $200 a month just for this. Furnishings and upgrades, $200. Let's do the final math. We started with Zillow's P&I of $2,022. Now let's add everything from our truth detector spreadsheet. We have PITI, PMI, HOA fees, a maintenance fund, utilities, yard care, pest control, and a furnishing fund. Our grand total, the real cost of living in this $400,000 house, is $4,033 per month. $4,033. That is literally more than double the initial principal and interest payment that the Zillow calculator highlights in big, bold numbers. This is the number you need to be able to afford comfortably. This is the number that determines if you are truly ready for homeownership. Now you have the framework. You have the ultimate homeownership budget spreadsheet laid out. But right now it's filled with national averages and educated guesses. It's a powerful template, but it's not your template yet. How do you find the real property tax rate for the specific house you're looking at? How can you get an accurate quote for homeowners insurance before you even make an offer? How do you find out if the HOA has a history of those dreaded special assessments? That's the next level. We're going to take this template and turn it into a personalized financial weapon, using free, publicly available tools to hunt down the exact numbers for your dream home. We're going to replace every single estimate with a hard, cold fact. Let's start with the biggest, most misunderstood number on that entire page: property taxes. Zillow takes a guess. It looks at the county's average tax rate and slaps it onto the sale price. But that's not how property taxes actually work. Not even close. The difference between Zillow's guess and reality can be thousands of dollars a year. And that's the kind of surprise that turns a dream home into a financial nightmare. We are not going to let that happen. Our first mission is to become a local tax expert in 5 minutes. Here's how. Every single property in the United States is located within a county, and that county's government is legally required to tell you exactly how they calculate taxes. They don't hide it, but they don't exactly make it easy to find either. So grab the address of a house you like, or even just the name of the city and state you're looking in. Go to Google and type in the name of the county followed by the words property tax assessor or tax collector. For example, Maricopa County Property Tax Assessor or Harris County Tax Collector. You're going to land on a government website. It will probably look like it was designed in 1998. Don't worry about that. You are a financial detective, and you're looking for one specific clue: the millage rate. Oh, millage rate. Sometimes it's called the tax rate, or it's found in a document called the tax roll. Whatever they call it, this is the master key. So what on earth is a millage rate? It sounds complicated, but it's incredibly simple. A mill is 1/1000th of a dollar. So a millage rate is simply the amount of tax you pay for every $1,000 of your property's assessed value. And that word, assessed, is the secret ingredient Zillow completely misses. You see, you don't pay taxes on the price you bought the house for, or the Zillow's estimate. You pay taxes on the assessed value, which is a figure determined by the county tax assessor. In many places, the assessed value is intentionally lower than the market value. It might be 90% of the market value, 80%, or in some places even lower. So your mission has two parts. First, find the total millage rate. On that county website, you'll find a table. It will list out all the different entities that are levying a tax. You'll see one for the county itself, one for the city, one for the school district, maybe one for a hospital or a water management district. You need to add all of those little numbers up to get your total millage rate. For example, the county might be 8 mills, the city 6 mills, and the school district 10 mills. Your total millage rate is 24 mills. Second, you need to find out how they calculate that assessed value. Often, on the same website, in an FAQ section, it will tell you the assessment ratio. It might say something like, properties are assessed at 80% of their fair market value. Boom! That's your number. Now let's put it all together with a real-world example. Let's say we're looking at a $500,000 home. Zillow might just take a generic 1.2% state average and tell you your taxes are $6,000 a year, or $500 a month. That's the number we're going to destroy. We do our detective work. We go to the county website. We find the millage rate table and add it all up. Our total rate is 24 mills. Then we find the assessment ratio and it's 80%. Now we do the math. First, find the assessed value. $500,000 times 80% is $400,000. This is the number we'll be taxed on, not the $500,000 sale price. Second, apply the millage rate. Remember, a mill is $1 per thousand. So we take our $400,000 assessed value, divide it by 1,000, which gives us 400. Then we multiply that by our total millage rate of 24. So 400 times 24 equals $9,600. That is your real annual property tax bill. $9,600. Divided by 12, that's $800 a month. Look at that. Zillow's estimate was $500 a month. You, with 5 minutes of research, just discovered a $300 a month discrepancy. That's $3,600 a year that Zillow completely missed. That is the difference between an affordable mortgage and a house poor disaster. You now know more than 99% of homebuyers. Go back to your Zillow calculator, click on that property tax field, and replace their guess with your hard-earned, factual monthly number. The first estimate is dead. Next on the chopping block, homeowners insurance. This is an even bigger guess on Zillow's part than the property tax. Why? Because insurance is intensely personal. The price of your policy depends on dozens of factors Zillow knows nothing about. It doesn't know the age of the roof, the type of electrical wiring, the claims history of the previous owner, whether the house is in a flood zone or a wildfire area, or your personal credit score and claims history. It just throws a generic regional average in there, which is next to useless. So how do we get a real number? We go straight to the source. But we're not just going to call one company. That's the amateur move. The professional move is to use an independent insurance broker. An independent broker doesn't work for one single company like Geico or State Farm. They work for you. Their job is to take your information and shop it around to a dozen or more different insurance carriers to find you the absolute best coverage for the lowest possible price. It costs you nothing to use them. They get paid a commission by the insurance company you ultimately choose. Your mission is to find one. Go to Google and type, "Your City Independent Home Insurance Broker." Read a few reviews, find one that looks reputable, and give them a call. Tell them, "I'm in the process of buying a home and I need a realistic insurance quote to build my budget." They're going to ask for a property address. If you have a specific house in mind, give them that one. If you're still browsing, that's okay too. Find a representative house in the neighborhood you're targeting, one that's similar in size, age, and price to what you want to buy, and use that address. The quote won't be perfect down to the penny, but it will be in the exact ballpark, which is light years better than Zillow's wild guess. Within a day, that broker will come back to you with a real quote. A hard number. It might be $150 a month, or if the home is in a high-risk area like coastal Florida or California, it could be $500 a month or more. Whatever it is, it's a fact. You take that number, divide it by 12 to get the monthly cost, and you go right back to your Zillow calculator. You click on the home insurance field, delete their placeholder number, and you type in your own. Just like that, we've done it again. We've hunted down two of the most volatile and significant expenses in a mortgage payment. We've dragged them out of the murky world of estimates and into the bright, clear light of reality. Our calculator is no longer a generic template. It's becoming a personalized financial model. It's getting smarter. It's getting more accurate. And with every fact we add, we are building an unshakable foundation of confidence for the biggest financial decision of our lives. We're not guessing anymore. We're calculating. We're planning. We're in control. But we're not done yet. There are still a few more variables we need to lock down, including two of the most frequently overlooked budget busters: HOA fees and the dreaded PMI. Alright, let's talk about homeowners association fees, or HOA fees. If you've ever looked at a condo, a townhouse, or a home in a planned community, you've seen this line item. And it's easy to glance over it, to think of it as just a small ancillary cost. That is a massive mistake. Think of an HOA fee as a mandatory subscription service for your neighborhood. You're paying for access to and maintenance of shared amenities. That beautiful community pool, the perfectly manicured landscaping, the private gym, the security gate, the snow removal in the winter. That's what your HOA fee covers. It's not optional. It's a legally binding part of owning that property. And it can range from a modest $50 a month to well over $1,000 in some luxury buildings. This is where so many budgets get completely derailed. People find a house with a mortgage payment that looks perfect, but they forget to add the $300 monthly HOA fee. Suddenly, that affordable house is anything but. It's the silent killer of home buying dreams. But not for you, because on Zillow, this information is usually right there on the listing. Scroll down past the photos, past the primary description, and look in the facts and features section. You'll see a line for HOA fee with a monthly dollar amount. Your first step is to find that number. If it's not there, you or your agent need to find it. Do not proceed until you know it. Once you have it, go back to our calculator. Right below homeowners insurance, there's a field that says HOA dues. This is where you plug in that number. Let's say it's $250 a month. The second you type 250 and hit enter, watch that big monthly payment number at the top. See it jump? That's reality setting in. That's the difference between a budget that works and a budget that breaks. That $250 is a non-negotiable, after-tax expense you will pay every single month, on top of everything else. It can have the same impact on your budget as an extra $50,000 on your loan amount. By putting it in the calculator, we are forcing ourselves to acknowledge it, to plan for it, to respect its power over our financial lives. Our PITI has now become PISHA. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and association dues. This is the new baseline for any property in an HOA. Now let's address the other ghost in the machine: PMI, private mortgage insurance. These three letters strike fear into the hearts of many first-time homebuyers, mostly because they're so misunderstood. Let's demystify it right now. PMI is not insurance that protects you. It doesn't protect your family if something happens, and it doesn't protect your belongings. Private mortgage insurance protects your lender. It's an insurance policy the bank forces you to pay for, that pays them if you stop making your payments and the house goes into foreclosure. So why on earth would you have to pay for the bank's insurance policy? It all comes down to risk, and it's tied directly to your down payment. For decades, the gold standard in the mortgage industry has been a 20% down payment. If you can put down 20% of the home's value in cash, the lender sees you as a safe bet. You have significant skin in the game. Your risk of defaulting is statistically much lower. But in today's market, saving up 20%, which could be $80, $100, or $150,000, is incredibly difficult. Millions of people buy homes with less than that down. You can buy with 10%, 5%, even as little as 3% down in some cases. When you do that, the lender sees you as a higher risk. If you default early on and they have to sell the house, they might not recoup their full investment. So, to offset that risk, they require you to have PMI. It's their safety net, and you're the one who has to pay for it. The cost of PMI isn't a fixed number. It's typically calculated as a percentage of your total loan amount, ranging from about 0.5% to 1.5% per year. Let's put that in real numbers. On a $400,000 loan, 1% PMI would be $4,000 a year. Divided by 12 months, that's an extra $333 added to your mortgage payment. Every single month. That's a car payment. That's your entire grocery budget. It is a huge deal. Here is the brilliant and crucial part about the Zillow Mortgage Calculator. It knows this. It does this math for you automatically. Go to the down payment section. You can enter a percentage or a dollar amount. Let's say our home price is $500,000. 20% down would be $100,000. Type that in. Now look at your monthly payment breakdown. You'll see principal and interest, property taxes, home insurance. But you won't see a line for PMI. The calculator assumes that with 20% down, you won't need it. Now change that down payment. Let's say you can realistically do 10%, which is $50,000. Type 5-0-0-0-0 into the down payment box. Two things happen instantly. First, the big monthly payment number at the top jumps significantly. Second, if you look at the breakdown again, a new line item has magically appeared, PMI, and next to it is a monthly cost. The calculator has automatically calculated the lender's risk based on your lower down payment and added their insurance premium to your bill. This feature alone is what separates a basic, back-of-the-napkin calculator from a powerful financial planning tool. It prevents you from making the catastrophic error of forgetting a multi-$100 expense. You can slide that down payment percentage up and down and watch in real time how it impacts your monthly PMI cost. See how the PMI payment gets smaller as you get closer to 20% and disappears entirely once you cross that threshold? This is you, right now, simulating one of the most important financial decisions of the home buying process. The good news is, PMI isn't usually a life sentence. It's not something you have to pay for all 30 years of your loan. The lender is required by law to automatically terminate your PMI once your loan balance drops to 78% of the original purchase price. You can also proactively request for it to be removed once you reach 80%, which is 20% equity. This can happen through years of making your regular payments, or it can happen faster if your home's value goes up significantly and you decide to refinance. The point is, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But for the first several years of your loan, if you put down less than 20%, it is a very real, very significant cost. So now look at that calculator. We've gone from a simple, misleading estimate of principal and interest to a comprehensive, battle-tested, real-world monthly housing cost. We have our principal, our interest, our property taxes, our homeowners insurance, our HOA dues, and our PMI. This is the number. This is the truth. This is the figure you can take to the bank. This is the number that tells you with confidence what you can truly afford. We've built the foundation of our true monthly payment. But what if I told you there's a hidden panel in this calculator? A set of advanced tools that can help you pay off your house years faster, save tens of thousands of dollars in interest, and truly master your financial future? That's what we're unlocking next. Okay, so right below the main numbers you'll see a little link. It's unassuming. It just says advanced. Most people scroll right past it. They think it's for finance nerds or math professors. They are wrong. This is the key. This is the control panel for your financial freedom. Clicking this doesn't just open a few more boxes. It opens up a world of possibilities. It's the difference between being a passenger on a 30-year journey dictated by the bank and being the pilot who can choose to land 10, even 15 years early. Let's start with the most powerful button in this entire tool. Extra payments. It looks so simple. You can add an extra amount monthly, yearly, or just one time. This is not a button. It's a time machine. Let's go back to our $320,000 loan at 7%. The payment is $2,128 a month for 30 years. Now watch what happens when we make one tiny change. I want you to think about something you spend $100 on every month. Maybe it's a few fancy coffees, a couple of streaming services you don't use, a few impulse buys on Amazon. What if you took that $100 and put it right here in the monthly extra payment box? We type in 100 and we hit enter. The monthly payment goes up to $22.28. Not a huge jump, but look at the graph. Look at the payoff date. You just erased 4 years and 8 months off your mortgage. 4 years and 8 months gone. But that's not even the incredible part. Scroll down to the total interest paid. You just saved $61,864. $61,000. With the cost of a few lattes a month. This isn't a trick. This is the brutal, beautiful power of compound interest working for you, not against you. Every extra dollar you pay goes 100% to your principal. It's like a targeted missile that seeks out and destroys your debt, and with it, all the future interest that debt would have created. You've probably heard the advice. Pay your mortgage bi-weekly. You'll pay it off faster. And it's true, but the reason why is often misunderstood. It's not magic. A bi-weekly plan means you make 26 half payments a year. That's the equivalent of 13 full monthly payments. So you're simply making one extra payment per year without even feeling it. We can replicate that exact strategy right here. Take your monthly payment, $2,128, divide it by 12. That's about $177. Type that into the monthly extra payment box. And there it is. The same result. You're tricking yourself into making an extra payment over the course of the year. It's a brilliant psychological hack, and you can model its exact impact right here. What about a bonus from work? A small inheritance? A tax refund? Don't let it just sit in your checking account. Use the one-time payment option. Let's say you get a $5,000 bonus. Plug it in. Boom. You just shaved 7 months off the end of your loan and saved over $10,000 in interest. With one single decision. Now let's pull back the curtain on the biggest secret of all. Scroll down and click Show Amortization Schedule. This is the scariest and most motivating thing you will ever see. Your mortgage is like an iceberg. The monthly payment you see is just the tiny tip. This schedule. This is the monster underneath the water. Look at payment number 1. Total payment, $2,128. Now look at the columns next to it. Principal, $261. Interest, $1,867. Let that sink in. In your very first month as a homeowner, you handed the bank over $2,000, and less than $300 of it actually went towards owning your home. The rest? It vanished. It was the fee for borrowing their money. It's pure profit for them. Look at payment number 2. Still over $1,800 in interest. Payment number 3. 12. 24. For the first several years of your loan, you are basically a renter who is also responsible for fixing the leaky roof. You are shoveling mountains of cash directly into the bank's furnace, and barely making a dent in what you actually owe. This is how the system is designed. It's called front-loaded interest. And seeing it laid out like this should make you angry. It should make you want to fight back. And now I'm going to show you how to fight back. Let's go back up and add our $100 monthly extra payment again. Now scroll back down and look at that amortization schedule. Something has fundamentally changed. The interest column is shrinking faster. The principal column is growing faster. Every single month. That extra $100 is your champion, your warrior, going straight to the heart of the debt and weakening it from the inside out. With a standard loan, it might take over a decade before the amount you pay in principal finally overtakes the amount you pay in interest. But with this small extra payment, you bring that crossover point forward by years. You start building real equity, real ownership so much faster. You can literally scroll through the schedule and see the exact month you become the master of your own home. The month where more of your money finally starts working for you than for the bank. That is a powerful, powerful feeling. The last piece of the advanced puzzle isn't a button, but a strategy. Open a new tab in your browser. Pull up a second Zillow Mortgage Calculator. We're going to put them side by side. On the left, our $320,000, 30-year loan at 7%. On the right, let's change one thing, the loan term. Let's make it a 15-year loan. The interest rate will likely be lower, so let's adjust it to 6.5%. The first thing you'll notice is the payment. On the 30-year, it's $21.28. On the 15-year, it's $27.88. That's an extra $660 a month. That's a lot. And this is where most people stop. They say, I can't afford that. And they click away, signing up for the 30-year loan without a second thought. But they are missing the most important number on the screen. Look at the total interest paid. On the 30-year loan, you will pay the bank a staggering $446,000 in interest. That's more than the original loan itself. You're buying 2 houses, but you only get to keep one. Now look at the 15-year loan. The total interest paid is $181,900. That is a difference of $264,100. That is $250,000. That is a Ferrari. That is sending your kids to college debt-free. That is retiring a decade early. All for the price of $660 a month. Now maybe you can't afford that extra payment today. But this comparison shows you the true cost of time. It reframes the decision. The question is no longer, can I afford the 15-year payment? The question becomes, can I afford to give the bank an extra $250,000 for the convenience of a lower payment today? Seeing the numbers side by side like this is a brutal, clarifying moment. It forces you to confront the real price of your mortgage. And it might just inspire you to find that extra money to push harder, because you know the prize isn't just a paid-off house. It's a completely different financial life. This is the power they don't want you to have. The knowledge to see the full picture. You now know how to use the advanced tools. You know how to model extra payments to save tens of thousands of dollars. You understand the horrifying truth of the amortization schedule, and how to use it as fuel to pay off your loan faster. And you know how to compare different loan scenarios to understand the monumental, life-changing cost of time. You have the knowledge. But knowledge without action is useless. And there are still traps. There are common, devastating mistakes that millions of homebuyers make, even with all this information. Mistakes that can undo all your hard work, cost you your dream home, and trap you in a cycle of debt you thought you were escaping. And exposing those mistakes, showing you how to sidestep them completely, is what we're doing in the final part of this guide. The first and most insidious mistake is what I call the pre-approval fallacy. You get that letter from the bank, it has a big number on it, say for $100,000, and you feel invincible. You think, great, the bank says I can afford this, let's go shopping. This is a catastrophic error in thinking. A pre-approval letter is not a promise. It's not a blank check. It is a highly conditional, temporary estimate based on a snapshot of your financial life at one specific moment in time. Think of it like a first-round job interview. You did well, they're interested, but you haven't been hired yet. The real interview, the underwriting process, is far more grueling. The mistake is assuming the hard part is over. In reality, from the moment you get that letter until the day you get the keys, you are under a financial microscope. Every paycheck, every credit card swipe, every major purchase is being watched. Making a mistake here is like acing the interview and then showing up to your first day drunk. The offer will be rescinded. We'll cover the specific actions that trigger that rescission in a moment, but you must first shift your mindset. The pre-approval is the starting line, not the finish line. The second mistake is the good enough rate trap, and this one silently bleeds thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars, from your pocket over the life of your loan. You talk to one lender, maybe your local bank where you have a checking account. They're friendly, they give you a rate, and you think, okay, that seems reasonable. You plug it into the Zillow calculator, the payment looks manageable, and you stop looking. Why? Because shopping for mortgages is a hassle. Feels complicated. But let me put this in perspective. Let's take that $400,000 home. You put 20% down, so you're borrowing $320,000. Lender A offers you a rate of 6.5%. Lender B, after a bit of shopping around, offers you 6.25%. A quarter of a percentage point. Seems insignificant, right? Just a tiny little number. You plug 6.5% into the calculator. Your principal and interest is about $2,022 a month. You plug in 6.25%. Your payment is $1,970. A difference of $52 a month. Again, you might think $50? No big deal. But you are not making one payment. You are making 360 payments. That $52 a month over 30 years adds up to $18,720. Let me repeat that. By spending a few hours making a few extra phone calls or filling out a few more online applications, you could have saved nearly $19,000. That's a new car. That's a kitchen remodel. That's multiple family vacations. It is a staggering amount of money to throw away simply because of inertia. The Zillow calculator is your weapon here. You can instantly see the long-term cost of a good enough rate. Use it to compare, to negotiate, and to fight for every last basis point because those tiny points are worth a fortune. Now let's talk about the mistake that shatters more homeownership dreams at the last minute than any other. The debt-to-income death spiral. This is the mistake people make after they get pre-approved and before they close. It's born from excitement and a false sense of security. Let's imagine a couple, we'll call them Mark and Sarah. They get pre-approved for $500,000. They're ecstatic. They find their dream home, put in an offer, and it gets accepted. They start picturing their new life. And then they think, you know what we need for this beautiful new living room? A brand new, top-of-the-line sectional sofa. And a 75-inch TV to go with it. They head to the furniture store, see a 0% financing for 2 years deal and think, perfect. It won't even cost us anything right now. So they open a new line of credit and finance $5,000 worth of furniture. A week later, they realize their old car will look terrible in the new 2-car garage. They go to a dealership, trade it in, and finance a new SUV, adding a $600 monthly payment to their budget. What they don't realize is that their lender is about to do a final credit check and income verification right before closing. The underwriter sees 2 new credit inquiries, a new $5,000 debt, and a new $600 monthly payment that wasn't there during the pre-approval. Their debt-to-income ratio, which was comfortably within the acceptable limit, has now skyrocketed past the threshold. The lender calls. The loan is denied. The deal is dead. Mark and Sarah lose the house, they lose their earnest money deposit, and they're stuck with a new car payment and a sofa for an apartment they now have to keep renting. This happens every single day. The rule is simple. From pre-approval to closing, your financial life must be frozen in carbonite. Do not open new credit cards. Do not finance a car. Do not finance furniture. Do not co-sign a loan for anyone. Don't even change jobs without talking to your lender first. Any change to your income or your debt can and will jeopardize your loan. The fourth mistake is a fundamental misunderstanding of the Zillow calculator itself. It's ignoring the real monthly cost. People focus obsessively on the giant number at the top, the principal and interest payment. We call this the headline number. It's the simplest part of the equation, but it's dangerously incomplete. The real number, the number that actually comes out of your bank account every month, is PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And sometimes it's PIM, with the M for mortgage insurance, or PIH, with the H for HOA fees. The mistake is treating these extra costs as afterthoughts. They are not. Property taxes can add hundreds of dollars a month. Homeowners insurance can add $100 or more. If you put down less than 20%, PMI can add another $100 or $200. And if you're buying a condo or in a planned community, HOA fees can add hundreds more on top of that. Suddenly, that manageable $2,000 principal and interest payment balloons into a $3,000 real-world payment. This is why the advanced section of the Zillow calculator is not optional. It is essential. You must do the research. Find the actual property tax rate for the specific county and city. Get a real quote for homeowners insurance. If there are HOA fees, you must input them. Because here's the secret. The lender isn't qualifying you based on the headline number. They are qualifying you based on the full PITI payment. They know the real cost. If you only budget for the fantasy number, you're setting yourself up for a brutal shock and a life of being house poor, where every dollar is consumed by a home you can't truly afford to enjoy. Finally, there's a mistake that sounds like good advice but can be a devastating trap: the down payment obsession. For decades, the gospel has been, you must put down 20% to avoid PMI. This leads people to do financially reckless things. They drain their entire life savings, their 401ks, their emergency funds, all to scrape together that magical 20%. They close on the house, get the keys, and have exactly $0 left in the bank. The very next week, the water heater explodes. The air conditioner dies in the middle of July. They get an unexpected medical bill. With no cash reserves, they have no choice but to put these massive, emergency expenses on a high-interest credit card, immediately plunging themselves into the very debt they were trying to avoid. The cure becomes the disease. Look, PMI is not ideal, but it's not a monster. It's a tool. Sometimes it is far smarter to put down 10 or 15%, pay a couple $100s a month in PMI for a few years, and keep $30,000 or $40,000 in the bank as a robust emergency fund. That cash provides security. It provides peace of mind. It provides a buffer against life's inevitable curveballs. Once you have enough equity in the home, You can simply have it reappraised and request to have the PMI removed. Don't sacrifice your entire financial stability on the altar of avoiding PMI. Use the Zillow calculator to run the scenarios. See what the payment looks like with 10% down versus 20% down. See how much that PMI actually costs. Then ask yourself, is that monthly cost worth the security of having a fully funded emergency fund? For most people, the answer is a resounding yes. So what does this all mean? It means the Zillow Mortgage Calculator is far more than a simple number cruncher. It's a strategic planning tool. It's a mistake prevention system. It's the lens through which you can see your financial future with startling clarity. By understanding every input, by stress testing different scenarios, and by being brutally honest with yourself about the real costs, you transform from a hopeful buyer into an empowered financial strategist. You're no longer just looking for a house. You are engineering the single biggest investment of your life. You now have the knowledge to sidestep the traps that ensnare so many others. You know that a pre-approval is just the beginning. You know that 1/4 percentage point on your interest rate is worth fighting for. You know to freeze your financial life until you have the keys in your hand. And you know that the true cost of a home isn't just the mortgage payment, but the sum of all its parts. Take this knowledge. Open that calculator not with fear or confusion, but with confidence. Play with the numbers, build your budget, and chart a course to a home that is not a burden, but a foundation for the life you want to build. You have the tools. Now go build your future.